you baby Neanderthals. It's time to do another Habs news update here, and in today's video, we got a ton of stuff to cover, okay? Joel Bouchard is gone. Brendan Gallagher's house got broken into. Corey Perry wants to stay. Can we keep him, Bergie? Can we? So stick around and we'll cover all of these topics and more. But first, if you guys are a fan of the Habs, or you're just shocked at how Eric Staal looks like he's 16, 17 years old with all his facial hair removed, then please consider subscribing to my channel, as I upload hockey content quite a bit around here and would really enjoy having some more of you grasshoppers tag along for the ride. Now, first things first, okay, let's get it right out of the way. Joel Bouchard is gone. He's gone. He walked away, and that's not good news. Not at all. Bouchard was doing a hell of a job developing prospects down in Laval, and for whatever reason, he decided to sign in Anaheim, I think. What the? Now, according to our sensei, Marc Bergevin, he would say that Bouchard was offered to join Laval again this year, or even on Ducharme's coaching staff in the NHL, but he refused. Legend has it, Bergevin would also offer Bouchard a box of double-stuffed Oreo cookies, but Bouchard walked away from that as well. Jeez, what a guy. So yeah, not a good thing, as the guy was doing a good job in Laval. I mean, they just had a great season. But let's hope they can bring somebody in equally as good at the job, or better. Moving on, if any of you guys are wondering who was injured during the playoffs for the Habs, then here is a list of a few names of some guys that were injured, compliments of Dominique Ducharme. We got Shea Weber with a thumb injury. Okay, I don't know if he was having a thumb war with someone, but it went horribly wrong. Jeff Petry, the guy who got attacked by a camera hole. Yeah, his fingers are all messed up. We're going to talk about that a little more later. Tyler Toffoli-Ravioli had a groin injury, and Brendan Gallagher also had a groin injury, and more in quotation marks. Now, speaking of Brendan Gallagher, okay, because things would go from bad to worse for this guy. I mean, we already know about his hands. He's kind of got two hands like the guy from Scary Movie, so you can only imagine how difficult it is for Brendan Gallagher to cook a turkey. And then during the playoffs, he got DDT'd by Mikhail Sergachev. He wasn't producing much offensively. He was giving it everything he had, but he came up short. He was visibly upset when they lost the series against Tampa. And then, he flies home from Tampa to find that his house was broken into. Jeez, talk about shitty luck. And I hope that whoever broke into his house gets eaten by a wild pack of angry Shih Tzus. Next up, back to Jeff Petry. Remember his eyes when he looked like a guy that died and was buried in an old Indian burial ground from Pet Cemetery? And then came back looking like this? Well, apparently, when he suffered his finger injury, when they were setting those bad boys back into place, he passed out and he burst the blood vessels in his eyes. And yeah, that's kind of why he looked possessed. But God, that sounds pretty painful. Meanwhile, Brendan Gallagher's fingers are just laughing their asses off in the background. Anyway, let's talk about Corey Perry's interview with the media the other day, as Corey Perry is a guy that I feel needs to return just for his presence alone. He was one of the best players that the Habs had this year, and I think another one-year deal for Corey Perry would be a good idea. He got really emotional during his interview and said that Montreal was the team that he grew up cheering for. It's blown everything else out of the water, and it's been a lot of fun. He would go on to say that he intends to play hockey again this year, and he's got a lot of good hockey left in him, and he wants to experience Montreal for Montreal. He said he spoke with Marc Bergevin and told him that he'd love to come back and be a part of this team, but there hasn't been any formal talks yet. Okay, so Bergevin, let's do it. Come on. Get out the old pen and paper and let's sign this guy up right now. Paul Byron, Mr. Waivers himself, would also have a lot of praise for the team and the city, as he would go on to say that he's the luckiest person in the world right now, even after being on waivers a dozen times, because he loves being there. Not waivers, of course, but in Montreal. And you gotta love Paulie B. You just do. Jake Allen would also speak to the media and would talk a lot about Carey Price and their relationship. He would say me and Price got common interests in hunting, fishing, country music, which helped them bond. But they weren't able to enjoy any of these interests together because of the pandemic. He would go on to say that I hope we can experience those real life events together. And he wants to experience a full building in Montreal on a Saturday night, which is kind of ironic because Carey Carey Price is Mr. Saturday Night. So, yeah. Good luck there, Alan. Joel Armia had a little chit-chat with the media as well and told them that he's heading back to Finland right now for some relaxation and to ponder about his future. He would add that he doesn't want to close any doors. So yeah, one-man Armia, of course, is an upcoming UFA heading into free agency if he isn't locked up soon. But we're going to touch on some of these names throughout the week, okay? Because we've got a lot of contracts coming up. Phil Danault, Tomas Tatar, and Joel Armia being probably the big tree. Yeah, the big tree. And I plan on discussing all of these pretty soon. Anyway, guys, that does it for this Habs news update. I hope you all enjoyed, and hey, see ya!